when you really watch all these outer space movies, I'm like, how come none of these thoughts are coming to me to create those things? Where are they getting this knowledge from to be like, let's create this? Just watching Mortal Kombat alone. I don't know if you've seen the new Mortal Kombat 11. Well, you don't play games.
I have what? I used to be a gamer back in the day. Girl, I
Girl.
did not get to see Mortal Kombat. Oh, but I was a gamer. Wait,
Wow.
yes.
Like, get over here with Scorpion. But let me tell you, now it's so updated. The graphics, everything is insane. The fatality, the brutality. Don't let your kids play that stuff because, oh my gosh,
It's gory.
so violent. Yeah,
Yes, it's
so gory.
gory. It's yeah.
I'll play it. I'll play it. Don't tell nobody. But yeah. Hi, everybody.
Hello, hello.
Welcome to another episode of Eye to Eye. Miss Jess is in the building, y'all. Well, I hope and trust that you guys had a great week, month, the whole 9, Haitian Heritage Month. Y'all was waving your flag up high, Mother's Day, all of that stuff that happened. Graduation, baptism, weddings. What else happens in May?
Mother's Day. Did you say that?
I said Mother's Day. We got two American and Haitian.
Yes, there we go. Oh my gosh.
It's all good. Whatever it was, you guys were refreshed because it was Mental Health Awareness Month. So everything good for you guys. But today we actually have some crazy stuff to talk about. And I don't even know where to begin, to be honest. I don't even know where to begin. All I keep thinking is that, how come we never heard about this stuff? Have our Haitian people been holding out on us? They're not telling us some stuff.
Listen, when I first started like getting information on this, I was just blown away. I'm just like, wow, this is fascinating. It's interesting.
Interesting. And I'm still confused because
confusion is an understatement, guys. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I mean, I try my best to write down, as many notes as I could, but oh my goodness, if you guys are interested, there's these 2-hour videos that I watched on YouTube. So if anything, we can link it down below in the description box so you guys can go in and watch it. Because I mean, it's so much information, and there's still certain parts in this topic. I'm like,
girlfriend. So without further ado, why don't you just tell them what we're talking about? Because like, what are they talking about? What 2-hour movie? What's confusing? What's going on? Tell us.
Okay. I'm coming. All right, guys. So today, and forgive me if I'm not pronunciating this right, it's called the Anunnaki.
The Anunnakis, yeah.
Anunnaki, yeah. And so Anunnaki is a term used to describe all of the beings from heaven and or space that inhabited different planets and stars that came down into Earth. Crazy.
So basically we're trying to find out, are they real? Are they imagined? Are they like conspiracy theories, urban legends, gods? Like, what are these things? Are they some type of beings? I saw a video on TikTok that claimed that they are aliens that looks like humans. I'm like, how do you look like a human, but you're considered an alien? It's not making any sense to me.
I have something on that. I wrote a note on that part that I got from the video. So to answer that, according to what I researched, they were saying that the Anunnakis, they had bigger bones, bigger skulls, and bigger brains, which is why when these skulls and bones were uncovered, it led to a big misunderstanding for discoverers to say they were alien. Because what happens is these Anunnakis, according again to my research, they are a prior version of us, human beings. I believe he considered them as our cousins. They were more advanced, not technologically, but spiritually, because they were more in touch with nature. I heard
the opposite.
Really?
Complete opposite. Like they were, yeah, because the Anu is supposed to be the god of heavens, and then the Ki,
Hmm.
like the goddess of earth, and they had
Right.
all these great powers.
Hmm.
Like apparently they from some other planet, and they were looking for gold to fix their planet. That's when they came to Earth, and they resided in what, Mesopotamia, which is like modern day Iraq and Iran. And all I gotta say is no, because these countries are so Muslim. There's no way they're into that Anunnaki stuff, right?
Mm.
So they traded their knowledge to the Earthlings below
Mhm.
while they were just trying to grab their gold. Like gold has
Mm.
always been an issue since the beginning of time, I suppose.
Yes,
But
yes.
still want
Oh
it.
my gosh. That's so interesting because as you're talking about the gold, because again, I was watching a video. So according to what this guy was saying, so with the whole concept of the Anunnakis, they basically originated from space. They come from different planets and stars. So what happens over time is, things happen in space and I guess the planets or the stars that they inhabited end up being destroyed. And because they're so spiritually advanced and just so in touch with nature, they were able to understand like, okay, so where we currently live right now, whether they were on Venus, whether they're on Mars or whatever star it was, they're like, we are not going to be able to inhabit this forever. So we need to find a plan B. So
Oh,
upon them looking for that plan B, they're just canvassing the different planets. And then when they look on Earth,
wow.
going back to the gold that you're talking about, they're like, okay, well, gold has Earth has gold, it has water, it basically has all of the elements and the resources that we would need to be able to have life and to keep life moving forward or something like that.
First of
And then
all,
so that's why they ended up choosing Earth.
right, Earth out of all the planets is always the one everybody wants. First of all, I mean, unless Earth is like Haiti, that's the one everybody wants.
Oye, pirase.
It's like there's a story there. Everybody wants Haiti, and they're just trying to keep us out of it. But I was gonna say, this sounds like every other Star Wars movie. Like any other, you know what I'm saying? Like any space movie, it just feels like, oh my,
Oh
is this
my
Star
God.
Trek? What?
Guys, why is it everything that you're saying, this guy spoke bits and pieces of it? Because now you're talking about Star Wars. He did say something as far as Star Wars being created through the concept of all of what he was talking about.
That would make sense because you have Anakin. Is it Anakin in Star
My
Wars.
God in Star Wars, no, I think I'm probably the only human on Earth
I
that
only
has
know Luke.
never gotten to Star
I've
Wars.
never gotten into Star Wars either, but I have heard of Luke Skywalker. I've heard of some of the names.
Mhm, mhm,
So,
mhm.
as a matter of fact, have you seen this animated series called Three Below?
Oh, yes.
Right, they're from Arcadia, which is what the Anunnakis are considered Arcadians.
Yes.
They're Arcadian in that like troll hunters. Three Below is still them, and they're from outer space with all this power.
Right,
So I'm,
right, right. That was a good little series on Netflix.
I do like that
It
one.
was,
I
it
loved
was.
it.
I'm gonna have to watch it again. Les amis, si tellement. I be having so much to do. I watch a series today, and it's like I don't remember the entire series by the end of the month. I gotta go back and rewatch it.
What about the Prodigy? Have you seen that one too? It's almost similar, like the whole Star
The
Trek thing.
Prodigy, the Prodigy, the Prodigy. I feel like I did, but what was that about again?
It's kind of like the Star Trek. They're looking for the fleet to bring the ship back, and yeah,
Maybe I didn't watch it.
it's good. If you like Three Below, you're gonna like that one.
I'm gonna look into that one for sure.
Yeah, that one was pretty good. But yes, going back to the story at hand, it's just like why we have not heard of this. At least I've heard of the other myths, like the Greek uh stories, Greek mythologies.
Mm-hmm,
I'm
mm-hmm.
like, if we want to find out if there's really Anunnakis that were ever in existence, we could just go to Rome. They seem to have all the old stuff. And as a matter of fact, I think they were saying that those people looked like they were wearing like they had horns, and gold feet, and I'm like, that sounds like a biblical story, you know, especially the name Mesopotamia, that's in the Bible. Babylon, Babylonians, that's scriptural too, before everything changed up. But I'm just sitting here like, when you really watch all these outer space movies, I'm like, how come none of these thoughts are coming to me to create those things? Where are they getting this knowledge from to be like, let's create this? Just watching Mortal Kombat alone. I don't know if you've seen the new Mortal Kombat 11. Well, you don't play games.
I have what? I used to be a gamer back in the day.
Girl.
I did not get to see Mortal Kombat. Oh, but I was a gamer. Wait.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Like, get over here with Scorpion. But let me tell you, now it's so updated. The graphics, everything is insane. The fatality, the brutality. Don't let your kids play that stuff, because, oh my gosh,
it's gory.
It's so violent. Yeah.
Yes. It's gory. It's
I'll play it. I'll play it. Don't tell nobody. But yeah. But yeah, I'm just like, how are they having this crazy imagination to actually draw it out? It's one thing if you think about something, right? But then to actually sit there and draw it out, all the space of the spaceships, why do they think it should look like that?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like all this intergalactic shifting, going through stars, fighting stars, bursting stars. You know, like, where are they getting that from? Yeah. Something is out there.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, I must be the lowest of the low to not know anything and be the most clueless one. Like, I can only read my ABCs. That's sad. Girl, I'm dead serious. I'm dead serious. Like, no Haitians have ever, like, I think when it comes to religion, it really feels, you know, like deities or gods or any of that particular stuff. It really feels like, wow. If you look at religion, every religion is thinking their stuff is superior. Now it's making a lot of sense.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, you think your God, at this rate, because I was reading so much about the Anunnakis, I was like, at this rate, I'm just going to pick a side and stick with it.
Or you just pick no side and just know that there is a higher power above and leave it at that.
Oh, that will work too. Okay.
Yeah, that's, oh my gosh. I grew up Catholic, but I don't know. Over time, just with me just seeing the differences, just kind of like what you're talking about, I really do see the whole ideology behind religion just being there to really create division.
Yeah.
Like, it's sad to say. I mean, my opinion, guys, I personally feel like religion is just one of those things. If we all know there's a higher power and there's spirit, and you know, like, why go so deep into, oh no, but my religion says it's ABC, and then the other one knows, like, no, it's DEFG, and then it's
I'm Team XYZ. That is so true. And it does do a lot of dividing, even just strictly in the religion, the Christian religion itself. You see so many divide, because I've had people giving me looks like, oh, you say you believe in God, but look at how you're dressed. And right? It's like, it's those little things, like somebody's taking notes. There's this rule book somewhere that's telling them, like, watch what everybody else is doing, and they're not enforcing the rules.
Right.
You should be following this rule, that rule. But then the religion we're talking about, that's still the low, because there's higher, different ones. Because I'm like, if somebody made up this whole Anunnaki thing, how or why, where, how would they, you know, I don't understand the manipulation behind it to talk about these great supposedly gods, but then they are nowhere to be seen, no evidence, no trace, no nothing. Nobody's really worshiping them, no cult, nada. But Google it, pages and pages and pages and pages about this. I'm like, somebody was a great storyteller. They really were about that life.
Yes.
Because just like the whole Greek thing too, I remember when I was in college, you had to do like British literature.
Okay.
Stuff like that, all those back in the days literature. And they were really big on the whole god and goddesses and stuff like that. I don't even remember not one person from Greek mythology. Maybe Zeus.
Oh.
Right.
Yeah, he's one of those that sticks right in the head.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that and then plus part two just came out on Netflix. So I don't know if you've seen, well, I don't know if you really do animes, but the first one was pretty good. So now the second one, let's find out what the son of Zeus is going to do. But yeah, so you have Athena, you have I think we had to read the Odyssey. I don't know. Is Dante's Inferno? No, Dante's Inferno is not Greek. But the whole point is, they had all these gods, and if you were just to read the mythology without anybody explaining anything to you, you would believe they are real.
Yeah.
Real, to the point where there's so many movies, there's so many statues, there's so many traditions behind them. Like, you just, like I said, go to Rome. You will see all of the portraits are out there. I think especially like in the Colosseum and things of that nature. Like, they strictly really believe in these godless, well, that's their belief, so maybe it is a god to them,
Right.
but it's the whole point of you believing into something that's not, it feels like it's just mirroring. So it would make sense when they say that nothing is new under the sun, because everything feels like it's just recycled stuff,
Right.
different players, but it's the same game.
Mm-hmm.
Different timeline, but it's the same concept. Everybody's been fighting religion since the days of, I guess, the Bible.
The beginning of time.
The beginning of time. And nobody can answer that one basic question of where we came from. So that's why they make it all up. We're from the Anunnakis. The Christian Bible said we're from dust, right? God with a
yeah.
Right. And then you have these other guys that's sociologists or science or whatever. They claim we're little bugs that were in the water that crawled out and walked on land, and then we evolved. Darwinism.
Yeah. And then according to this guy that I was watching on YouTube, we were created through the Anunnaki. So the Anunnakis, the way he described it, it's kind of like saying we're from Earth. So somebody's like, hey, where are you from? You're like, I'm from Earth. But when you look at Earth, it's not one race. It's different species and things of that nature. So there's a group within the Anunnakis called the EEG. And so they, oh gosh, I'm probably going to botch this because again, guys, so much information, but we were born from like genetic mutations from one existing hominid in the EEG, according to what this guy said.
Isn't that Zachary guy? Who said that? I was trying to ask you what guy.
I'm going to tell you right now. His name is Billy Carson.
Oh, Billy Carson.
His name is Billy Carson. Huh?
His name sounds like a pastor. Oh, I'm thinking of Billy Graham. Never mind.
He doesn't give me pastor vibes, but he's definitely one of those people. He really digs deep into this stuff. It seems like he's very knowledgeable about his idea as far as what this whole topic is concerned. And even when he speaks, he has like evidence. He talks about the Bible, and this is the part that gets me because I never really learned the Bible. So when it comes to the different chapters, verses, names here, names there, I'd be so lost. But as he's expressing the story of evolution through the Anunnakis and the first hominid with the different events that we see in the Bible, he's correlating what was happening with the Anunnakis and the first hominids as in comparison to what's going on in the Bible. And then he was saying something about how Adam and Eve weren't the first human beings on Earth. And when they were actually on Earth, there were already a bunch of human beings on Earth.
I'm telling and the snake
about to go on the edge of their seats, like, what's she talking about, guys? I'm just saying, this is what the guy said. His name is Billy Carson in the video. Like I said, we will link down the videos down below if you want to watch it. interesting stuff. And then, you're talking about Greek mythology and things of that nature. He even gets into that because with what he's talking about, he incorporates that Greek mythology, and it was just very complex.
But check this out though. What if that whole time we were believing that blacks populated the earth, right? We the one that have every race and nation can come out of us. What if that wasn't true?
Truth be told, guys, put up my goddamn video sign. The reason why I'm like, what is because what caught me is on the front screen. It said history is a lie. I'm like, oh.
Of course. Nous te get up party ça parce que me, I've been reading with my Haitian book. I have been reading my Histoire d'Haïti and half of the stuff. I was like, that's not how I thought the story went. So apparently, if you watch those movies like Avatar or Planet of the Apes, like the stories keeps feeling familiar. Right? So I'm like, maybe colonizers were there and saw how the story went and they can retell the stories. Of course, you're gonna twist and botch it up. But you know when that was there because you were basically in every country. And you ever notice how these kind of craziness comes from everywhere but the US? The only thing we had was like UFO, whoop-de-woo, right? They have gods and all these wars and all of the US got nothing. And I'm like, but you guys were in every country just colonizing and we got nothing?
Right.
What's wrong with that story? Even South America got better stories. We got nothing but slavery and racism. And, like I want a God story of, this powerful being that came and built, I don't know, some kind of a statue that nobody can figure out how it got there. All these places, they have things nobody can figure out how they got there. Statues, monuments, and all of, and I'm like, what do we have? Maybe I really don't know my history, so maybe that's why I'm looking at it like, well, maybe history is a lie because it's told from that person's perspective, right? Like, let's say you're alive, I'm alive, and I'm telling my kids what happened in COVID. It's going to differ from how you tell it too.
Right.
You know what I mean? You could say they kill half the people, and I might look at it as, well, they died because they didn't want to take the medication. It's just like, it depends. Sometimes people can't come for nobody based on history. If you lived it, you're going to have a different account. And that's what they talk about in the Bible too, like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and all of them. Those are different views, different accounts of how they saw Jesus.
Right.
And it's like, what's so funny? They have pictures of even before Jesus was around. But yeah, you don't have an image of no Jesus. I don't get
very that. Sketchy. Very sketchy.
But, but on the technicality, I guess we did have a God because I think they, his story is powerful. It matches up the other gods very close, right? Like, I can die and rise up again, and I can take the weight of the whole earth on my shoulders. All you gotta do is believe in me and you are freed. And then it's like, freed from what? Who brought me here so I could be enslaved? Just take me out. Let me stop playing before they come for me now.
Oh my gosh.
But we're just having conversations because these they make you think.
Yeah. And you know what else? So going back to this guy, Bill Carson, again, I'm not big on like history, just like, I don't know, I'm not a scholar. So there's a lot that I don't know, which is why I'm always just open and just sit down and listen just to hear like, what are they saying? And, just have a moment to think about it. He also was saying how just with the concept of, the planets that we live on one day is just going to implode. When he said it's going to implode, I guess that's the Bible's version of Jesus coming. Because that's why the Anunnakis decided to inhabit Earth.
They're supposed to come back. What's up with this Earth? Like, people just come and chill. Even if you watch Transformers, they're from the other planet, but they got to come here to find some key to stop
Mm-hmm.
everybody from destroying their planets. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
Earth must be the key to something.
Gotta be.
It must be
It
the key to
definitely gotta
something.
be.
Everybody's claiming when coming back, we barely have enough space for us. We're overpopulated. Like, not going to work. But I'm very fascinated by us though, because nobody can explain why we dream.
Why we dream.
Yeah, they make up stuff,
Mm.
but I don't believe in half the stuff that they say. I mean, some of it could be, you were stressing, you were overthinking things, and then you see things in your sleep. Yeah, that kind of makes sense.
Mhm.
But there are some other dreams. It's like you wake up like it was so real, like you were literally physically there.
Right, right.
I have seen Avatar, and I see when they sleep, they go on the other side and live a whole new life. I'm like, that's believable to me.
From my understanding with dreams, from what I got thus far, it has like a lot to do with just like the subconscious mind. Because once you're asleep and your eyes close, your subconscious mind now is just
Yeah, but who's the one teaching you about this whole subconscious mind in the first place? They telling you that's what it's called. That's what it's doing that. What is it to
mhm.
withhold the truth so you don't really think about it and want to go to sleep and go see what's on the other side? But if they make believe it's not really real, it's just your imagination and subconsciousness making up stuff.
Passes, oui.
You right.
Passes, oui, capales. Yes, oui. That's what I believe.
Do their job. Yeah. And they tell us in our religion, because I do believe in a parallel universe, and I
Yes.
also believe that we do have different layers. And sometimes this is just my thinking too, guys, don't come for me, but like when people commit suicide, when people go through certain things, I'd be thinking like, did an eclipse go by and that person happens to be in that path and they felt some type of way and had to act? Because a lot of times when they come out, it's like, oh, what happened? You know what I mean? Like when they come to their real senses,
Right.
a lot of the stuff was not even them. So I keep thinking like, oh, there's a line somewhere. When you cross it, things can happen to you. It could be financial issues, it could be work issues, it could be family issues. Like it's like, you know how the earth is rotating on an axis?
Right.
There's always that constant thing. So that's why life be lifing. When you have your
Mm-hmm.
moment in life is great, you better hold on tight and hurry up and enjoy it, because by the time it circles
Yeah.
around, you know what hit you might get.
Yes,
You know
yes,
what
yes, yes.
drama, what trauma, you know what I mean? That's what I'm
Mm-hmm.
believing. Like,
Yes.
it's spiraling around to make us go through things because it don't make no sense. Today I was fine. And then tomorrow's like, oh my
Mm-hmm.
God, I don't even want to be here.
Right, right. I will say this, just adding on to what you said. My belief, as far as that's concerned, it's like I have to believe what I see with my eyes because my eyes are looking right at it. And so if there's bad happening, then there's got to be, and this is going back to me just being more tapped into just spirituality. Like if there's something bad happening, it's brought by something, the devil. But if there's bad, there's got to be good. And for me personally, I feel like we live in the devil's house. Like we live in
Yes.
his realm. Like we're
Yes.
literally
Yes.
moving along in his realm. I do believe that there's people we walk by sometimes, they look like us, but inside of them,
It's gonna
devils.
be.
And it takes for you to just be more spiritually like tapped in, and to be more intuitive and use your discretion within your intuition and just listening to spirit to be able to discern if a person walks past you, you know, something don't feel right. So you're just like, I'm not going to get too close to that person because that's your spirit telling you you don't need to be around that. And then for the people, like you said, that find themselves, committing suicide and things of that nature with that eclipse that you were talking about, I think that's the devil finally getting his hands on their back and neck and that person literally succumbing to whatever that how can I say, whatever that feeling is, to the point that you end up committing suicide.
And it happens to the best of us. That's why we'd be like, I don't understand. Because I've read about billionaires just up and shooting their wife of 20, 30 out of nowhere, the blue, and people get shocked like, oh my gosh, they were such a loving couple.
Yeah.
So it has to be like you said, we are in the devil's lair, and that's why it's always so easy to do bad. So the real challenge is, can you love?
Right.
Right? That's the better
Right.
can you choose to be good? Can you choose to do good? Because that, my friend,
Right. Right.
that's very tough.
And with that goodness, you give off good energy because at the end of the day, I do believe what you put out is what you get back in. So if you try your best to be good, if you try to stay positive, and I get it, lives, and sometimes you find yourself in spaces you're like, "Boy, quizá fait bon Dieu." I mean, I do believe it's good to have community, have people around you that you can talk to just kind of help you get out of that space the devil want to lock you in. You know,
Absolutely.
being able to have that community, being able to talk to people, whether it's a therapist or a group of friends you trust or whatever, it helps you see the light. Because at the end of the day, when things are happening to us, like especially like really bad things, it's we're in the dark. We're in the dark. But truth be told, the light will always outcome the darkness. And so
right. Exactly. And I
yeah.
think that's the biggest thing that we have of that, what you said is good stuff, but we still left with why? Why? What is the purpose? Am I really gonna die like this? I don't see what I accomplished. Oh my gosh. Like, what was I here for? Was I here for somebody else's assignment? You know, like, oh, am I still waiting for the person who's supposed to be my assignment completed? Because it's like, then it wouldn't be feel like how some of us just come and we leave. What? Why? What was the mission? What was the point? And if there is a mission, how come half of us don't know what it is?
I think that's the journey to find out. And it's your intuition is what brings you to what you're here to do, honestly. You know, we all have that little voice in our head that's like, do it. Or that other voice that's like, no, don't do it. It's like, we gotta.
Well, don't tell nobody you hearing voices because they're gonna. If you say, oh, that's a voice that told me to go ahead and just do it, they're gonna be, oh, that girl mental.
What is it? So even when I said do it, I mean, yes, have some discretion with that. It's like bungee jumping. If somebody's like, do it, that doesn't mean, okay, I'm gonna just go to the ledge and jump.
That is wisdom.
It's more like, okay, if I'm gonna bungee jump, let me at least try my best to take as many proper safety measures. Let me make sure the harness is on right. Let me make sure, you know, I'm checking in if the cable's good, and you know, and then you go for it.
But not everybody thinks of those things, Jess.
That's
right?
true.
Because it's like, how was I supposed to know I'm supposed to check for a rope? I don't know that. They told me to bungee. I just bungee. Because it's like, why didn't you ask? I didn't know what to ask because I didn't feel like there was a need for a question. So,
but ça c'est problème now though. That's the big problem. People need to be more curious. With that curiosity, it'll bring you to a space where you'll ask more questions. So even if something is happening and you had no idea in the world this is something you needed to ask for, because of that curiosity that you have, I bet you're going to start asking the right questions.
Oh yeah, and when you ask the right question, just like that iRobot movie said, if you don't ask the right question, it can't unlock anything else for you. You have to ask it the specific question that'll take you to the next level. Then when you get stuck again, you sit and you do some recalculation, you go back into yourself and ask again. But you have to be in constant meditation, constantly aware of you, so that you can check your surroundings and know what to ask for. Because you may not know, I need to ask for wisdom. You may not know, I need to ask, do I need to be self-sacrificial? You know, like, definitely get back at it. I'm like, oh, life is so fascinating now. You know?
Yes.
Interesting, because you're like, I wonder the next person that I meet, what is that person gonna do for me? Because I'm always looking at when I meet people, did they bring me a message, a lesson? Are they here for a short term? And because as soon as they accomplish their task, you'll notice people disappear. Because mission complete. They move on to the next person. So that's why I've learned to be okay with losing people or letting go of people, because it's like, oh, everybody's on rotation.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So it's very, some people, just like you don't have thousands of billionaires, you may not have so many people that's going to stick with you. Because as soon as you get it or you learn from it, you move on to the next level and everybody can't go up.
Yes, 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 yeah.
So hopefully
Yep,
I want
absolutely.
to be a blessing in somebody's life too, because at the end of the day, I don't want to have the dirty work of being your bad assignment. I don't want those jobs. But girl, we're over here talking. We are running out of time. Girl, we are running out of time. So what fait ici au vin bat nou cause Anunnaki?
Mes amis, vous parlez si bat nous jodi a.
Talk about voodoo, okay? Kwen yon apote nou lot level. Pou fè ici au vin, mesdames sa yo, yo bezwe priye. But honestly, guys, if you have heard of these Anunnakis, please share, because I'm like, yo pa ba nou kalite mesaj sa yo du tout. Peti ou on diye selman nou konen, bon diye l'ekol la ka l'eglise. Kote top wè fè science, kote gen top wè fè tout psychology sa yo, like, nobody's gonna like believe you if you say, oh, you know, there's some other gods that used to be here and this is what they believed in and No, I see about them got the space movies. I don't even think they watch like Star Trek, Deep Space.
I highly doubt it. Ki kote wal gade Star Trek. Okay. If anything, with me growing up, what their favorite thing is ti radio ki by nouvelle all day on full blast. What do they call those in Creole? You know,
Radio Verite.
Mba même connais.
Radio Dama.
That's by nouvelle. By the time the episode's over, mes amis, ou pas tande docteur kek li di kon sa, pour mettre jiwa na bagay. Whoa, boy, don't ici, oui.
Wait. But at the end of the day, guys, it's really true that you are your own universe, because as you think, so are you. What you believe in can come to pass, but ultimately, you could really believe in something and it still doesn't come to pass simply because that is not the destiny.
Right.
Like you could wish somebody would never leave. You could wish somebody never died, but that's a different reality. You could have died for this job and you didn't get it and you're disappointed, but that's okay. That wasn't that reality. It doesn't mean you cannot create another one.
Right.
So,
and before this video ends, I want to say, with me saying to be curious and to ask questions, my blueprint of life is to ask who, what, when, where, and why. I ask myself those 5 things all the time.
The Anunnaki, and we will see you guys on the next episode.
Next time.
Hey, Hearts and Mind are one.